Roleplay Retcon does not own any part of the movies we retcon, nor are we associated in any way with the artists who make them. Also, while we're usually not the rowdiest bunch, this episode got a lot wilder than usual, so just be aware of that.
Hey everyone, hey!
Welcome to Roleplay Retcon, the podcast that remakes the movies that let you down.
Thank you.
I'm Benjamin Gray. I am here with my friends, Jency and Alex. And on this show, we remake famous flop movies using a variety of storytelling and role-playing games. I guess I should, ask you guys how you're doing. I never do that, do I? How are you doing?
What is this, a talk podcast?
I know.
Business
does it
to
matter?
Yeah, no, we don't need to get into chit-chat, do we? That's not why people are here. Anyway, this time, we are remaking Frank Miller's cinematic adaptation of Will Eisner's The Spirit.
Ooh!
I'm sure there are a lot of people who like this movie.
There are, I'm sure.
At least one.
There might be two.
Gross.
In the whole world?
It might be me as well.
Gross.
I'll talk about that in a second. But it does sit at 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it did lose tens of millions of dollars at the box office. So something went wrong.
Well deserved.
Okay. 14, though? Is this our lowest rated movie?
I think the one we're about to do is lower, but I don't know. I think Gentleman Broncos still is is incredibly low. I don't know. Maybe 14%. I think that'd be worth looking into. I don't know. It could be, right?
This cannot be the worst. I mean, y'all, we've done
It
some
can.
stinkers.
Yeah. Lowest on Rotten Tomatoes does not mean the worst, I don't think. But it could be the lowest. That might be the lowest score, though.
I think there's been some in the single digits,
There
right?
could have been. There must have been, right? At least one. But we've not had one this stinky in a while. Score-wise.
Gentleman Broncos is 20.
There is no way that people like Gentleman Broncos more than The Spirit.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Wow, we're going to talk. We'll get to this in a second. But
It's real close, Jincy.
But by the way, if you don't have to have watched this movie to enjoy our version, but we have been told that sometimes it does enhance the experience watching it before or after you finish our series. But you're not going to be lost or anything. Also, if this is your first episode ever, that's okay. And welcome.
Welcome. We're happy to have you.
You can listen to our remakes in any order as long as you start with the first episode of a series. This one is going to be a little different from how we usually do things. And I have a couple of surprises for my friends.
Is that us?
Yeah, that's you. I guess my friends are also the people listening, but I was talking about you guys.
Oh, okay.
Even the Santa Claus 3 is at 17%.
Wow. I'm actually surprised that one's that low.
What is Valerian? What is Showgirls? No way people like Showgirls more than they like The Spirit.
Valerian's at 48.
What?
I remember Valerian was mixed. Yeah.
Showgirls is at 23.
These numbers are unacceptable.
Yeah, but Showgirls has a cult following. Paul Verhoeven is you can't quantify Paul Verhoeven movies. All right. I'm going to allow these statistics to continue to trickle in as I explain things here. The first thing that's different is we usually have at least one guest player on the show, but this is a GM-less game, and it seems like it would just work well with 3 people, so it's just us. Just me and Jency and Alex. I almost said and Ben, even though my name is Ben.
Me, Jency, and Ben.
and Jency and Ben and Jency and Ben.
Super Mario Brothers is 29.
That tracks.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe it should be a little higher because it's definitely a love it or hate it kind of thing. But anyway, we also usually have a musical guest, but I just couldn't find anyone that I thought fit this. I found one guy I liked, but all of his tweets were you can use my music to train your AI. And I was like, nope, no, thank you. So, the featured music for this, and this is, one of the surprises that my friends do not know about. The featured music for this series is me.
Oh.
Oh.
That is surprising.
I run this by you guys, but I used some software to make a few songs.
Was it AI?
No, it was digital. It's digital music.
Nice.
Wow.
Jency, I found one.
What was
I found
it?
one that's lower than 14%.
Okay.
You're not going to like it.
Why? Is it another one that I like?
Yep.
What is it?
It's Batman and Robin.
You have got to be kidding me. Why are the ones that I like the worst
11%.
ones?
You know Batman and Robin is a guilty pleasure. You have to know that.
No, I don't. I know that it is objectively a good movie. It is not a guilty pleasure.
Hey, Alex.
I legitimately like it.
Alex, will you do me a favor and see what the Rotten Tomatoes is for August Rush?
Oh my God. Please stop.
August Rush is 37.
Oh, it's not bad.
Oh, okay. I found the lowest one.
Okay, what is it?
It's 9%.
What is it?
It's the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Wow. Come on. That movie's not that bad. Like, it's pretty poopy, but like, it's not like offensively bad.
It's definitely better than The Spirit.
I don't like this.
Jitsy's so mad they're not going to talk to me anymore.
It's all your fault, Alex. You did this.
Yeah, my stock's going up. The game we're playing to remake The Spirit is Noirlandia. Noirlandia. It's hard to say. By Evan Rowland. A noir game about solving a murder. There is some debate among us how to say the word noir.
Noir.
Noir. No, you say it, Jinsey.
I'm not going to say it.
Go, just say it, Jinsey.
I think it's noir.
Yeah, I think it's noir, too.
It's okay. Y'all have been wrong in the past. It's fine.
It's a noir game about solving a murder. If you listen to our Nothing But Trouble series where we played Fiasco, it has a lot of in common with that while also kind of being a unique thing. But the core of this is it's like you make a detective story instead of like actually playing detective and trying to solve a mystery. Nobody here knows the answer to the mystery. We'll come up with that as we play.
Well, I know.
No, Alex, you don't.
Bernard did it.
Oh, Bernard, I knew it.
You can play it right out of the box. You don't have to do any prep work. You work together collaboratively to create your city and your characters, and you can even have like surreal or fantasy elements in it. The cover art for this game has these like giant skeletons resting on the outskirts of the city with this trenchcoat guy standing on a hill looking over it. The book has some really cool, like creepy art in it. It's so good.
It does look cool. I like that.
And there's no GM. There's no person that runs the game, like in Dungeons and Dragons. All that being said, I have come up with a couple of pre-made things because of how Roleplay Retcon works. We can't leave everything up to chance because we're not making a 100% original thing. We're adapting something and remaking something that already exists. Maybe we should talk a little bit about The Spirit.
Okay.
Jesse, I was mistaken. I thought you just loved Samuel L. Jackson. I didn't know you liked the whole movie.
I think that Samuel L. Jackson's character is amazing, but that's not the only part about the movie that I like. I just think it's funny and it's interesting and it looks nice. And I like the awkwardness and I like so many of the characters. And I think it's a good movie. I like the movie.
Listen, I remember not liking this movie. And having watched it again for this, like watching it for doing this episode, I was like, uh-oh. Wait. Now, like, that has some asterisks. Like, yes, it's got a caramel ribbon of, like, misogyny running through the middle of the ice cream pint. Like...
Yes. There are certainly some problematic stuff in this movie.
I don't know if I love the visuals as much as you're talking about. I think that's not, like, aged super great. I actually really like what they did with some of these characters.
Yeah, right.
And I kind of, I've read a lot of The Spirit. I love The Spirit. And I thought this movie, having watched it a second time, I was like, oh, they kind of get it. They get this comic. So, Alex, it's your turn, man.
Oh, boy.
Tell us what's bad about this movie.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of this comes down to my personal preferences. But, yeah, visually, anything that this movie does, Sin City did better. I don't know anything about the comic, but this movie really didn't know what lane to pick, if it wanted to be a serious noir or a jokey, weird, goofy comedy. A lot of the acting is pretty bad. Scarlett Johansson is a weird racist brick.
A weird racist brick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I hate the main character. He's just a douchewinkle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he hot? or what?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, thank you. That's what I want to know.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
I mean,
That's the problem.
whatever your tastes may run, Jinzy, I don't find
See, but
anything
that's
about
how the
this dude
spirit is, though.
attractive.
The spirit is this like cocky, like he wears this mask and he's like supposed to be like a noir guy, but he's like kind of friendly and he's like kind of cocky and he's like a little bit of a dork.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everyone's so horny for him in the source material, but
And like, if I had to listen to him sexualize his city for like 5 more minutes, I probably would have just like turned it off completely.
yeah, but like, don't you get it, Alex? Don't you get it? Is the point that it sucks shit and it's dumb?
Ah, but it's so stupid and I hate it. I don't know. There's just a lot of this movie rubbed me the wrong way. I thought Samuel L. Jackson did a wonderful job in it, of course, but I don't know. I'm not gonna harp on it all day long because we got stuff to do.
That's my other asterisk. And one of the things that I sort of changed for our adaptation, it drove me fucking insane that he's the octopus. Because that's not at all what the octopus is like in the source material. And the source now, except for the octopus is like an evil genius who's like got a lot of influence all over Central City. Which is why he's called the octopus. But in the comics, you never see the octopus. He's like Dr. Claw and Inspector Gadget. You only ever see his gloved hands, and they just have these like 3 stripes on him. And sometimes you'll see his like eyes in the dark. But you don't know this guy's name, and you don't know who he really is, and he always like operates from the shadows. So in the movie, they kind of combined the octopus with another character called Dr. Cobra, who is just this kind of like stereotypical mad scientist who thinks he's smarter than everyone else. He's just like wearing the coat and he's got the thick glasses, and he accidentally makes the spirit. They rebooted it a couple of times, but basically he makes this like serum that makes it seem like Denny Colt dies trying to take him in. But he doesn't really. He just goes into suspended animation and he like digs his way out of his grave and he's like, hey, this is an opportunity. I can just pretend to be dead. And then I can like operate as like a superhero, basically. So I love that they were like, okay, that's a boring character. We're going to make this guy the craziest fucking character ever. And so like it improves Dr. Cobra so much. So that's why I like that. So we're going to basically keep that, I think.
We're going to call him Dr. Cobra instead of the octopus.
But it's basically the same character. First thing to talk about in Noirlandia is consent and ownership. You can veto things you don't like. This is not just a safety tools thing. It could be for stuff you just don't like, or maybe it creeps you out, or you just think it's a bad idea. It doesn't have to be just for hard stuff.
Okay, but what's the movie we're doing again?
Oh my God, Alex.
Veto.
Oh, okay.
Jency saw where I was going.
Okay, also, as we create things for this game, we'll each take ownership of them. More than just characters, we'll also take aspects of the city we create and its culture, and you'll have first and last say on things that involve the things you own. And new ownership of things goes to the person who has the least owned things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our city. The first step to that is to figure out how the city is corrupt by rolling a d6 and seeing what comes up on a table.
Technology, extravagance, deception, isolation, pride, apathy. 5. So that is pride. It's corrupted by pride.
Who wants to own the corruption?
The government.
Government.
No.
One of us?
Yes. Owns that story element.
What are the other story elements options?
Like what we're going to get to here in a second.
Yeah, I don't want to pick this one if there's a cooler one coming up.
That's not... Well, then you don't want this one. And maybe you should go to Alex.
What am I doing?
He's making us pick this, but he's not telling us what the other things are.
This is kind of what we do in lieu of having a GM. Instead, you're kind of the GM of that thing.
So if I chose this, I would be the GM of the corruption.
Kind of. It's just more like when we discuss things, you just have, like, the most say in it. Then I'll do it. Nobody wants it.
No, I was going to say I want it.
Oh my God, you're killing me, Jency. You're like, I won't be tricked into taking it, Ben. And you're like, I do want it, though.
I'm playing the bad guy. I get to be the corruption.
Jency, you feeling proud?
Yeah.
Good. You should.
Now we got to answer some big questions.
1, how big is it?
So big.
2, how small is it?
Not.
3, how medium is it?
Not. It's just big.
It's all big.
All big.
3 clicks in the big column.
Can I continue?
Yes.
Are you done?
Yes.
Question
Anyway.
4, am I done?
So, like I said before, you could do crazy cities. You can do like really fantastical cities. Spirit's been around a long time. And they've dipped into the supernatural for it sometimes. First question is...
Wait, we already answered the first 3 questions, Ben.
What 3 questions?
It was, how big is it? How small is it? How medium is it?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. You're right. I have 4 additional questions for you.
Excellent.
How are the city's people unlike us? Unlike us. They are not like us. How?
They are normal as fuck.
Do we have to roll for it?
No. This is a thing that we are going to own.
Oh, then that's Alex's thing he owns.
Or may.
No, he just had a good answer, though.
Did I, though?
You did answer. Are they boring?
You know what it is? They all have third nipples.
Oh!
I don't know. I still think that's a good answer, though. Like, they're not that different from us, right?
Except for the third nipple thing.
Except for the third nipple.
We only have 6 nipples between us.
You don't know that.
Well, I do, because everyone else has 3 nipples.
You don't know how many I have. Okay, but for real answer to this question. I kind of like your first answer is that, like, everyone is really boring to the point of it being, like, almost a joke. And that's how, like, that's why all the supervillains are, like, so wild. That's why people like Dr. Cobra, like Samuel L. Jackson's Dr. Cobra exist. Like, they're like raging against that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I liked in the movie where everyone was really weird.
Okay.
But I guess, what people are we talking about? Like the normal citizens?
Yeah. Like, what is the population of this city like?
Yeah, I'm cool with them being boring.
No, but I kind of like that too. Should it be that? Should it be that instead? That this is like a wild city?
Everyone else speaks in riddles.
Oh man, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
Alex.
let's go with that one.
I kind of like that. Okay, we're gonna put that down. So, Alex, you're gonna own that. What do the buildings look like? Say it.
No.
Just say it. We know what you're thinking. Just say it. It doesn't have to be the answer. Just say it.
No, I don't want to say it.
Just do it. We know what it is. Just do it.
Jinsey, if you don't say it, we're going to make up what you're saying.
Okay, make up what I'm saying.
Jinsey thinks all the
Alex.
buildings look like penises.
That's what I was going to say.
I knew it. They all have balls at the bases.
Yeah.
They have like spherical entryways. This is not how we're supposed to play this, but I'm fine with it.
See, that's why I didn't want to say it.
No. See, it's like no one sees it though. No one gets no one seems to like get that all the like any visitor from out of town is like all the buildings like look like penises, and we'll be like, well, I guess
all the
look,
people go around like shafts of stone hard as wood. What they rise after they could. I don't know.
Oh my God, Alex, yes.
So a lot of smooth exteriors to the buildings.
So I'm just writing penises down.
Yeah, okay, penises.
Okay.
Ben, will you own the penises?
I have to. That's how the game works. How did the corruption take hold? Yeah, why are people so proud?
Well, because, Ben, they are so good at riddles and they have these very immaculate buildings. When people come from out of town, they really come and are amazed at this place. And people got really proud of that.
Maybe are people like so proud of their riddle making that it's even it's even like in their government. Like their government is entirely esoteric.
How did the corruption take hold? Bureaucracy.
Yeah, the riddle of bureaucracy. Okay, last question. What laws do the people live by? What do people like really value here?
Well, what do we know about these people?
They like riddles. They like penises.
They like riddles. They like penises.
They like bureaucracy.
Well, they don't like bureaucracy.
Well, bureaucracy's got a hold on them.
I mean, maybe they made their own Destroyer. Maybe they chose their Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but still, they don't love it. What is the law? What is the highest law here? What is the one rule you cannot break, no matter what?
No bummers.
No bummers. What if it was like, if everybody's super proud that, like, slander would be the worst thing you could do to someone, right?
Not just slander, even if it's true.
Just, like, bad-mouthing people.
So that kind of factors into no bummers.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Who's going to own that? I guess I own bureaucracy is the true riddle.
And the penises.
Thank you. I took the second one because I didn't want just that. So which of you wants no bummers?
I don't mind either way. Alex, do you want it or do you want me to have it?
I'm going to let you have it.
Okay, I'll have it. I guess that makes sense because I own pride.
Oh, tell me about it.
What?
Right.
Wow.
Now we're going to develop our districts, which are the district of downtown, which is all four of these have card suits. And so downtown is a heart, Skid Row is the club, the outskirts is a spade, and the upper crust is diamond. So now we're going to answer like what structures define each of these districts. And that's going to kind of rename the district. You know, like one of them might be like the headquarters for a big corporation. You know, that's what really defines that area of the town or something like that. So let's start with downtown. Heart. What's downtown?
The biggest penises.
Yes.
What's the biggest penis? I can't believe you've made me say this on the podcast that I own.
Y'all, can we get away with this? We've said penis like 1,000,000 times.
Well, who's going to stop us? The government?
Bureaucracy.
This government might, yeah. So they're probably pretty proud of their penises.
If it is the biggest penis, then I guess I technically own that. It should be a big golden building, right?
A big golden penis.
So the biggest one would be like the industry, the company that like owns the town. So like, what is that company? What makes the most money here?
It's the Viagra building.
Oh!
Oh my God, is that why everything in the city kind of looks like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That
like,
also really goes in with the pride corruption. Like, it would hurt someone's pride if they could not get an erection, perhaps.
I want you both to know that, like, I hate this so much. But it's, like, we're way too far into it to go back. Like, I recognize that. We can't stop now.
It's all because I laughed and you made me say the thing and I didn't. And then Alex said the thing and now we have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of everyone's fault, yes. It's not Viagra, though. We have to come up with our own. Like, what's another name for
Stiffies.
Yep. Yep.
Do you want to go back to Viagra?
How did you do that so fast? No, but I'm going to call it like
Stiflers.
Stiffies. No, we're going to call it Stiffies with a Z at the end.
I'm pretty sure that's Stiffies.
Yeah, it needs 2 F's.
Yeah, 2 F's
There we go.
needed.
Oh, it looks like ease. Like easy.
ease, yeah.
Oh.
Though that sounds like anti-erection drugs.
Oh, it's like easy, though. It's easy to get a stiff.
Ah, there you go.
It's not hard to get hard.
That was very good.
Thank you.
A++. That's their slogan.
Yeah, I get one every once in a while. Anyway, yeah, Skid Row. Can I ask you guys a question?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What is Skid Row? What is that?
So,
What does that
it's like
mean?
the bad
It sounds
parts
like
of
what my
town?
dad gets in his underwear.
It's a bad part of town. It's like you watch Little Shop of Horrors. They have that song about Skid Row.
I have a very upsetting a confession for you.
You've never seen Little Shop of Horrors.
I have never seen Little Shop of Horrors. I've seen a couple of musical numbers from it. I've seen Son Be a Dentist, and I've seen, the big one where, like, he's like, feed me, Seymour. And
The
Well,
rundown
there's a
part of
song
town
about-
frequented by vagrants, alcoholics, and drug addicts.
Actually, I guess I've just seen the musical numbers because I've actually seen like 2 others. I've seen Somewhere That's Green, and I've seen the one where he's like, I was walking down the street, like that one.
Well, next time you come over, I'm showing you Little Shop of Horrors.
I would love that. I would love that to be movie night. But Skid Row is the sketchy part of
Wait.
town.
Yeah.
It's the wrong side of the tracks. It's the part where Batman goes when he's just like wearing a jacket and the And when he's not dressed as Batman, he's just trying to blend in and figure out what's going on.
It's the part of Batman when Nirvana plays.
Like, speaking of which, like, that's another Frank Miller thing I like that's also got this caramel ribbon of misogyny running through the middle of it. I love Batman Year One.
Yeah. I really like, look, I don't know. I unapologetically like Frank Miller.
He is like, I think he's like Quentin Tarantino, where it's like, I think this guy's probably a creep and I don't want to meet him, but like, I have to admit that he's actually made some good shit. I think Quentin Tarantino and Frank Miller are very similar people, probably. And you also love Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yeah. But unfortunately, they do both have, like, the misogyny issues.
Anyway, Skid Row. What's in Skid Row?
So are we naming a specific building or a company that's in Skid Row?
We're just kind of saying, like, what does Skid Row look like in our city? What defines it?
If this is the bad part of town, then, like, this is where people have the least amount of pride, right? Or they're trying to drum up their pride.
All the buildings are kind of, like, leaning over a little bit.
No. Oh, no.
So...
Come on. That would actually be the funniest visual. Like, all the buildings are dilapidated, but still kind of look like penises, so they're, like, wilting.
I almost wanted to call it the Taint.
I don't think no. None of it can be like that on the nose. Like, we know, but they don't know. Okay. So they wouldn't call it the Taint. No, they'd call it the Taint and not realize.
Yeah, they wouldn't make the connection.
That's funny, though.
Or it's called, like, Grundletown or something. Guys, why? Guys, I hate this kind of humor. I hate it so much. Yeah, you've tricked me into doing it.
I don't think we tricked you, man.
Yes, you did. I was a good boy until I met you.
What?
Anyway, I was a good boy that ate the fruit from the top of the tree, not the low-hanging rotten stuff. We're going to call it the Taint. But why? We can't just call it the Taint. Like, what is it? Is it just kind of run down?
That's a club. The club's called the Taint.
That's the seedy undercarriage of the city. Now we're going to talk about the outskirts. Oh, I guess, do I own Stiffies?
Sure.
And who wants to own the Taint?
I don't want to own the Taint.
I will put my ownership over the Taint.
Okay, outskirts. I think, listen.
All right. It's a forest and it's called the Pubes.
No, you need to listen to me because I think this is where, I mean, we could still do that, actually. But no, they wouldn't call it the Pubes. They wouldn't call it the Pubes. Anyway, but it could be a forest. And I think your thing is still going to work because I think this is where...
They could call it the Happy Trail.
I think this is where the spirit should be from.
Is this where the cats live? Can I own the Happy Trail?
Just give me a second. I know I'm taking a while to get to it, but I'm afraid of you. This is where the cats live, though. So in the source material and in the movie, the spirit gets buried in a cemetery, right? Mm-hmm. And then he gets out of the cemetery. It was kind of weird that there was just a giant window that no one noticed in the movie. But anyway, that cemetery is called Wildwood Cemetery.
Oh.
Like in the comic and in the movie, it's called Wildwood Cemetery.
Nice.
So I think we should call it Wildwood Cemetery. But like, wow, if Wildwood doesn't sound like another name for pubes. So I think that's where the spirit should be from. That should be like your character. We'll get to characters in a second, but characters kind of have a district, and I think Wildwood Cemetery should be that district. Also, who owns Wildwood Cemetery?
Yeah, I want it.
Jincy, yeah.
Okay. Jincy, and that means you get to say that there's cats there.
Yes.
That was actually kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird that he just has, like, one cat tree in the middle of this giant vacant space.
Right?
Upper crust. So what's in the upper crust?
So,
how would they be proud? They'd be proud of their money.
This is where the diamonds are.
The hardest diamonds. What's like a thing they would have, some like lavish thing that this is where the happy trail is.
A fountain.
A fountain. I like where your head's at.
We could call it the splooge. It's a water park.
Oh, a water park called the Splooge? Yeah. Absolutely.
That's not classy, though.
Oh, you have to wear a suit when you're writing down the splooge.
Okay. It just became classy.
You've got to put on a rubber.
It's a rubber suit. Is it called the splooge? Like sometimes, I don't know. Like sometimes when we're doing stuff like this, like Alex will say a thing and Jinsey will laugh really hard, and I'll just like take that as like tacit approval by Jinsey.
Yes, I approve.
Okay, the splooge. All right, we've done it. Who owns the splooge?
I guess I'll take ownership of it.
Yeah, I think that's yours. Okay, we did it.
Yay, we did it.
As we play, we're gonna like pin little note cards around these 4 districts. Like things will happen in them or related to them. All right. Next is name and language. That's kind of one of the things that come prepackaged for us. But we don't have to keep this, I don't think. But the name of the city in the spirit is Central City. Now, if you want a different name for it,
yes,
I think that's okay. Because Central City is not that, like, holy.
I think it's funny.
What's funny?
The name Central City.
Why is it funny?
It's just one of those, like...
Just because it's, like, such a low-effort thing?
Yes.
It sounds like a made-up name for a city.
It sounds like something that Alex would say, and we would laugh about it, and then we would agree to it.
Central City? I'm offended,
Yeah, because it's in, like, the center of the...
I would come up with something so much stupider than that.
I don't know if that sounds like something that Alex would say, yeah.
Really?
Nah, yeah.
Maybe it's something you would say then. I don't know. I think it's funny, though.
How fucking dare you?
What?
It's such a boring name.
It's not. It's so funny.
It's so boring.
Well, we're going to keep it then. We're going to keep it.
Can
like,
I
don't
throw
know.
out one name
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you
that
can.
will make y'all cringe?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what stopped you so far.
Virginia.
Please, no. Veto.
I'll let us call it that if you
Veto!
can say it exactly the same a second time.
Virginia.
No. No. Veto.
I was lying though, veto.
Oh, I know. I fully understand.
However, you did succeed the challenge, so I do owe you like a prize or something. I'll come up with it. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Central City, though. Our city is Central City, so you can write that on your character sheets. And I know it's like English, obviously, is our language, but I think the question is like a little bigger than that. It's kind of more like, how do they talk?
In
Shakespearean.
riddles. Yes.
Yeah, we kind of already, I'm sure Shakespearean happens. Please don't commit us to that, Alex, because we will have to, talk as these characters. And like, I know you like to stunt, but we can't always do that. Okay, next thing that happens, we're supposed to create and claim characters. We are going to go through this, but some of this is already kind of done for us. So the 3 player characters that we're going to play are the Spirit / Denny Colt, Sand Seraph, his childhood friend, who's like kind of a sticky finger now, kind of sticky fingered. And then someone is going to be Dr. Cobra, which it's Jinsey. Jinsey called dibs on this like years ago when we first started doing this podcast. So we're finally doing it. Yeah, Dr. Cobra. I think Alex is going to let me be the Spirit because he's a cool guy.
Because the Spirit's gross and I don't want to.
And so Alex is going to be Sand Seraph because, guys, I'm legitimately excited to see Alex play like a femme fatale.
I'm kind of worried about this. I don't have an accent for this yet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Are you going to just default into French?
I mean, if I was ever French to begin with.
The game wants us to like roll some dice and draw some cards to do this next part, but some of the options are not going to fit our characters well. So we're going to choose some of these things instead of being random, unless somebody really wants, like, unless you just like feel like you should be random.
I do not.
The Spirit is going to be Private Eye. And I'm from the outskirts, from Wildwood Cemetery. And my principal is going to be... I'm actually going to roll for this. Yeah, I got 6. Never betray my own. Okay, so I'm going to live by that. Never betray my own.
So, Dr. Cobra, mastermind. I operate downtown. And I rolled for this, but I really like it. I never reveal my true self.
I don't know if I should be an out-of-towner or an assassin hired gun. I'm going to go with out-of-towner.
The Spirit hasn't seen you in a long time, right? You've just rolled into town. You haven't been here in a long time.
Where I operate, gotta be the upper crust.
How are you involved with the splooge?
I just love water slides. Avid water slidist. My principal is I never harm another.
We also do this same thing with the victim. Now, there's another thing that I've kind of got like pre-pitched here. I think our victim should be the octopus.
Interesting.
At least seemingly. Nobody really knows what the octopus looks like or who he is, but they found this dead body that sure seems like it could be him.
Got eight legs.
And his operations did oddly cease a while ago, so scuttlebutt has been that he was dead. So I have that the octopus is a mastermind schemer as well, operating from the outskirts. He never reveals his true self.
We have a lot of similarities.
You do, but I think that's okay. That may end up being a thing, Jency.
Whoa.
But again, we don't actually know. This is not us hinting at things we know that I have said everything now that I had planned ahead of time. Don't know how this is going to end. Second to last thing happening is on your sheet, you're going to see 4 conditions. See those? Body, mind, heart, and rep.
Yeah.
Set one of them to a black square, one of them to a white square, and the remaining 2 to that like outline, like semi-broken outline square. And the black square is kind of bad, and the white square is really good, and then the other one is kind of middling. And so you'll see also there's like words next to each of those that are like describing. So like if you choose white square on body, you're like vigorous. But if you choose a black square, you're hurt. Maybe you like walk with a limp or something. So yeah, so I've chosen a white square for body. I'm vigorous. And then my 2 middling squares are mind and heart. I'm calm and quiet. And then my rep is my black one. I'm suspected. Because, I'm like kind of a vigilante. And like, people are like, I don't know about that spirit. Whose side is he really on?
I think my white one is going to be my mind is sharp. I'm a mastermind.
Yes.
So I need to have a sharp mind. Then the black square is going to go to maybe also my reputation. I don't know. Maybe he's done some weird stuff and people are like, sometimes he's cool, but sometimes
That guy right there, he's a pervert.
Are you saying he's like people don't know he's a criminal, like he's just a weird doctor? I see him cosplay as a Nazi a lot. I remember like I think Jeanette doesn't like this movie either.
Correct.
Alex's wife. Yeah. But I do remember that she said, okay, but him wearing the Nazi outfit was the funniest thing.
I think this movie has got that like weird understated humor that really I enjoy. Maybe it's my body then. I don't know. What should be my black square?
I thought that was like why you liked the movie. You were like,
it's just my body. My body's no. I'm talking about the.
My body just loves this movie, man. It's just in my bones and my blood. I love it.
Crazy hormones.
Your francocytes, melanoma.
I'm trying to figure out my
Should
character.
I say mine, Jency?
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
that'll
Say
help
yours.
you out?
Say yours.
All right. So I've got my body is able. My mind is willing. Just kidding. It's calm. My heart is guilty. And my rep is trusted.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one for your character.
Oh, you have like connections. I love it.
I think in the movie, like, he is like unfazed and unbothered. So I don't think it's going to be a black heart. He also has...
Oh, yeah. By his conscience, certainly,
yeah,
yes.
He also has he's pretty strong in the movie, but I think that's what I'm going to do the black in for our game purposes. That he's going to, like, use his mind and other things to overcome...
Well, you could even make it... Maybe you could... If you like that he's, like, athletic and very able in the movie, you could make it like he's augmenting himself, but it's killing him.
I like that. So we're going to put the black square in body, and then heart and reputation are going to be quiet and overlooked.
But how does he feel about eggs, though?
Oh, he does not like them. No egg on his face.
Not a glob?
Not
even one glob?
Not one glob.
I thought he liked eggs, though. He just doesn't like runny eggs.
He doesn't like runny eggs.
He says, like, at the beginning of the movies, I love eggs. He's like, I love eggs. Eggs are great. But then he was like, I don't want egg on my face.
He loves eggs in certain situations, just not on his face.
Right. I don't like eggs.
So we're telling you that,
I get it.
You were wrong. You did it wrong.
That's why I go to the splooge to get it washed off.
Sorry, he does love eggs, though. He loves eggs, just not on his face.
From his head down to his legs?
Yes.
That sounds like a riddle to me.
There was actually a commercial by the Egg Farmers of America at one point.
Incredible edible eggs.
Yeah, it was. Did you not see those, Alex?
Where's the beef?
Yeah, it was like that, but it was like a song. It was like, I love eggs from my head down to my legs. Nope. And it was the best thing.
It was so good.
Finally. Our relationship to the victim. Why do each of our characters care that we solve this murder? I think the spirits is like, this is what I do. I want to make sure this is really him. I'm sure not going to be sad if it is him, but like, I need to make sure that this isn't, that this is really the octopus. And I need to know if it's not the octopus, who is this?
Ben's relationship sexual with the octopus.
It certainly might be psychosexual, yes. I mean, think about it. A guy who's just hands, how hot is that? Probably not very.
I'd prefer a few other parts. If I'm just going to be honest about it.
Yeah, but like, you see penises enough, you get a little tired of them, and you're like, oh, but hands, that's new.
So what is your relationship, Ben?
Oh, my relationship with him is he was my arch nemesis.
Ah. What is their relationship in the comics, Dr. Cobra and the octopus?
It's sexual.
In the comic, it's like a rogues gallery, like Batman villains. They're separate villains, but like, since the octopus has like tentacles everywhere, sure, Dr. Cobra will end up working for the octopus sometimes.
So they're like friendly villains? They're not like against each other villains?
Not necessarily.
Employer?
I'm sorry, I know you're trying to get me to whittle this down, but I think you could go either way. I think you could go either this guy used to be your boss, or you could go like, and you want revenge, you want to know who killed the octopus, or you could go, I need to also make sure this guy's really dead because I might be able to be the new octopus. Or
maybe I gotta make sure this guy's really dead because whoever killed that guy might come killing me next.
Yeah. Is there a supervillain killer around? You know, it's probably not the spirit. The spirit would either own up to it or just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but my relationship, I think, is gonna be, what is the word for someone? Ally, villain.
I think it's still ally.
It doesn't turn into something else when it's villains.
If you want to call it Axis, I suppose. But that's like a weird venue to go down, Jency. I'm kind of sad that you thought of it personally.
I know, shame on me.
What could my relationship be that the octopus had something that I wanted? I don't, not necessarily that like they worked together, that like maybe he had something that I like an item that I was trying to bargain for. And now he's dead, and I want to figure out why he's dead so I can find the item.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't think you even have to know what that is yet. We also have other relationships. Just keep those in mind. We know each other. You and I are also enemies, Jency.
Excellent.
And also the spirit and Dr. Cobra are enemies as well.
Ah, excellent.
Now we're going to learn about the murder. What we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 cards from the deck. And I'm going to look on the table. We will do this randomly. And it's going to give us a couple of leads. And leads are an important mechanic in this game. The first one is going to be like where the murder took place. So I'm going to draw a card.
Draw a card.
Whoop. It's the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts is always your best bet.
Okay, that's the where?
Is that the stiffies?
It's a queen. So leads, places it's the key word here is entertainment.
Ah, entertainment.
We're in the Stiffies, the downtown district, and it's entertainment. What entertainment is in the downtown district around the Stiffies building that we found this murdered body in. And like why I think the reason that we think it's the octopus should factor into it. Like it would make sense that we'd find the octopus in this place. And it's a mini golf course.
Is this what we call the Happy Trail?
Yes, that's the Happy Trail.
Nice.
The mini golf course. But it turns out it's not really a mini golf course. It was really a base of operations. Found this guy dead there. Someone gave an anonymous tip.
Just the anonymous tip?
God, like now I want to call something the anonymous tip.
Funny. That's the detective's headquarters.
No, it's the newspaper for the town.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, the anonymous tip got an anonymous tip, but just the tip.
Just the tip.
They didn't get a name. They didn't get a name. Yeah, someone's like, we got just the tip. And someone's like, what? And goes, yeah, they didn't, we don't know who sent it. We didn't get other information. Oh, yeah, of course.
That's why it's anonymous.
Second thing. Yeah, drawing another card now. Squip!
It's the 6.
A weapon.
And so it goes in Wildwood Cemetery. No. It's like from Wildwood Cemetery somehow.
Why?
Because that's what the suit is.
Oh, it's a cat.
Is it a weapon that, like, seems like it would be mine?
Can it be an arm, a skeleton arm?
Like from The Legend of Zelda?
Yes.
A skeleton arm. I kind of like that. And it has the spirit written on it, like carved into it. It has a little tag that says "Property of the Spirit."
Wait, why is it specifically coming from the spirit? I thought it was coming from the cemetery.
It's not, I'm just pitching that because that's like my district.
It could be a shovel.
Oh, it's got like dirt on it,
Yeah, you got bludgeoned.
and they trace the dirt to the cemetery.
Maybe does say property of the cemetery.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's Wildwood Cemetery, and so people are like, "Man, this doesn't seem like something the spirit would do," but like.
He sure does hang out at the cemetery.
But the shovel kind of looks like a penis, like everything else in the city. It's not intentional, probably, but it does a little bit.
I mean, shovels already do.
They already do.
Yeah,
But this one has like this one has like sort of like the top of a bed knob handle. Like the top of it has like a little bit more of a dome on it, and like
its handles are like two loops next to each other.
it's actually a really good shovel. Penis shovel. Now, last thing for our setting up, for making our world and setting up our story, is like what state the victim is in. Is it obvious how they died? So, like, I think we just sort of answered that a lot, right? Like, it seems like this shovel is the murder weapon. This guy got like bludgeoned on the back of the head. You just said that, didn't you, Jincy?
I did, but we didn't have to go with that.
I like it though. We kind of workshopped it together. So that's our setup. We got our characters. We've got our mystery. And the next thing we would do would be to start our investigation.
Oh, nice.
We'll do that next episode, which will be on August 23rd. In the meantime, you could maybe join our Discord, which you can find all the links to that in the episode description or on our social media. Or you could even join the Patreon if you're feeling very fancy. And there we have behind the scenes stuff and deleted scenes that we all lump together into a thing called bloops. We also sometimes do a thing called randos, which is just like thing that we record just for patrons. It's not necessarily bonus episodes of the show. It could just be anything and everything. Sometimes we do improv. Sometimes we do like fun little quizzes on the internet and we have a lot of laughs. Here's a little behind the scenes secret. I'm actually recording this later after our recording session. So Alex isn't here to say bye kisses. So I guess I have to say bye kisses. And he's going to be really mad because he always says bye kisses, but someone has to say it. So bye kisses.